so everyone can hear me, see my screen. All good?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got
Oh,
your
okay.
desktop there.
Perfect. So yeah, welcome to today's masterclass. We're going to be going over client acquisition in a lot of detail. So I hope you guys are ready, got your notepads and pens, got your listening ears, and we will jump straight into things. So an introduction to client acquisition. What is it and why do we need it? So number one, it is the lifeblood of any business growth. Revenue generation is the first point of call about client acquisition. Without new clients, business stagnates. Acquiring clients drives sales, profitability, and ensuring that you have a stable, sustainable business. Scaling operations. As you bring in more clients, you can tell your team, services, or whatever product you're offering, it opens the doors to exponential growth. Staying competitive, market share. So a steady flow of new clients helps maintain or increase your market position against your competitors. Customer turnover, no matter how great your retention strategy is, some clients will leave. So obviously acquisition offsets this by bringing new people in. Building a robust brand presence. So reputation and growth. Acquiring high value clients, or in our case, OnlyFans models, can enhance your credibility, leading to more opportunities through referrals and partnerships. Social proof. The more clients you have, the more testimonials, reviews, and case studies you can then showcase, which are going to attract future prospects. Diversifying revenue streams, so mitigating risk. Relying on a small pool of clients is very risky. Client acquisition ensures a diverse portfolio and reduces your dependence on a few key prospects, which we'll get into later about your mitigating risk with many clients. Expanding your market research, so bringing in clients from new demographics or industries opens up untapped potentials and mitigates your market risk. And then, of course, the opportunity for innovation, a feedback loop, so bringing in new clients often provides fresh perspectives on your product or your service that you deliver, helping identify areas that will need improvement. Market insights, so engaging with different clients profiles, this can reveal trends or demands within the market, shaping future strategies, allowing you to grow. Cash flow, of course, consistent acquisition keeps your cash flow nice and healthy, allowing your business to reinvest in growth areas such as your marketing, talent acquisition, client acquisition, or the technology systems that you are using. A company with proven ability to acquire new clients is often valued a lot higher. If you're planning an exit strategy, then your better acquisition system you have in the eyes of investors and shareholders, the more valuable your business is. And then, of course, your long-term vision. So scalability, client acquisition aligns with long-term goals, whether you're expanding into new regions, launching new products, or becoming a market leader. And finally, sustainability. Continuous acquisition ensures that your business adapts and thrives in changing market conditions, which OFM, OnlyFans, is constantly changing and adapting. So the four streams of client acquisition, what are these? So you've got your cold outbound, which is reaching to new leads with no prior interaction. They don't know who you are and you realistically don't know who they are. Warm outbound, which is engaging with leads who may already know you, often from your content creation. Referrals, so this is leveraging existing clients or finding clients who then go out and acquire new clients for you. And of course, finally, ads. This is paid campaigns targeting your specific audience. So today we're going to hit hard on both cold outbound and warm outbound, as they are the two key pillars. Without either of these two systems, doing referrals and ads is pretty pointless. So warm outbound, this is the best place to start. Building your connections through value. And the key word there is value. Value is extremely important with warm outbound. So the key components of warm outbound is engaging your prospects who are already familiar with you, your brand, or your content. What is the goal of this? It's to build trust and guide your prospects towards taking action. Now, creating content. The purpose of this is to position yourself as an authority within your niche. So for everybody here, we should be making content on OFM, OnlyFans tips, tricks, etc., to position yourself as an authority within the OFM space. So when you're talking to potential clients, they can see that you have a lot of value to give, you're trusted in the space because of the kind of content that you're creating, which leads nicely onto the different types of content that we can create. Long form content versus short form content. So first of all, long form content, we've got things like blog posts and in-depth videos. These are often maybe YouTube videos. Well, I say mostly often, they're normally always YouTube videos. They can, however, be Loom videos breaking down a system or a infrastructure that you use within your agency. And of course, short form content. You've got reels, stories, tweets, threads, TikTok, etc., etc., YouTube Shorts. There are many different platforms, but all short form content is based around the same types of things. Now, when we're creating content to bring in these warm inbound leads, the power of consistency is key. So frequency is the number one thing about creating content to generate your outbound leads. So if you show up regularly on someone's For You page, their Explore page, whatever it is, you're going to stay at the top of their mind. Building an audience over time is super, super key, right? Content normally disappears after a day or two, but your audience grows day to day. So even if you're posting a video and then it's a For You page for 24 hours, and then obviously the algorithm pushes it to the side, you post another video, that's going to be on the For You page for another 24 hours. These videos are technically disappearing, even though they're still on your page, they're disappearing from new feed. However, your audience grows day to day. So that's the key thing. Even if the content is disappearing, your audience is constantly growing. Now, why does it matter? What's the importance of creating content to produce inbound leads? Well, it builds trust and it establishes your expertise. Two things that are crucial within any client acquisition is trust and your authority. Creating content does both of these things perfectly. So this is why we're starting with it. It's one of the most important things. Now, your call to action, your CTAs. In best practice, these need to be clear and direct. DM me for more details, comment the word, etc. Make them very short, sweet, and simple. Make them clear so that every single prospect, no matter their IQ, their intellect, can understand what you have to do. As well, we need to make sure that every call to action is just one thing. It's either like this post, share this post, comment the word. If you're asking your viewers to do every single thing, to like, comment, subscribe, share, it gets too confusing. They may get lost in the mix of it, right? So make sure you keep your call to action simple with just one instruction. Comment the word OnlyFans. Share this reel to me, and I'm going to give you the breakdown of how we build our clients' social media pages with our 3 different content verticals, etc., right? So subtle nudges. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is also really, really good because it's not necessarily a direct call to action. People subconsciously feel less like they're being sold. So let me know your thoughts on the comments of what I've just broke down in this video. Is a great way to engage your leads because you're not necessarily asking them to comment the specific word, which everybody is doing at the moment with social media. So these subtle nudges, something I really like to do with my own content. It's a great call to action without being salesy and in your face. And then the placement, right? They need to be at the end of the post, at the end of your story, or pinned comments. These are the 3 places where your call to action should be. Anywhere else, it's not being seen. Now, this leads nicely onto the give strategy, right? So what does this mean? It means delivering an immense amount of value before you ask for anything. This is so, yet again, we're not trying to seem salesy, we're not trying to seem pushy. We have to give value. So examples of this may be sharing tips, free resources, and insights into your business. So for everybody here, this would be OnlyFans tips, free resources on how to build a 3 content vertical roadmap for their Instagram, how to set out their OnlyFans page, a nice bio that isn't too long, but it isn't too short, so it engages the subscriber to want to go and find out more and subscribe to the page, things like this. As well, if you want to go down more the long form content route, hosting free webinars. So creating a webinar for free for OnlyFans models to join where you're going to give them a fuckload of value, which yet again is going to assert you as an authority in the space, as well as building lots and lots of trust. The more value you give, the more of an authority you'll be seen as, and in general, in general, the higher authority you're going to see and the more trust you're going to create. So free webinars are great. Long form content is great because it builds an awful lot of value and trust because there's more duration, there's more time in a YouTube video compared to a TikTok or reel of a short to give them that value itself. Now, moving on to cold outbound, right? Turning complete strangers into prospects. So the definition, proactively contacting individuals who are unfamiliar with yourself or your brand. And the goal of this is to initiate interest and establish a dialogue. If you've been to a couple of these meetings before, I keep reiterating and hitting home how important getting the conversation started is. It doesn't matter how good your script is, it doesn't matter how good your sales funnel is. If you can't get a reply, if you cannot have an established dialogue, an open conversation, you're not going to book any sales calls, you're not going to sign any models. It's as simple as that. So you need to focus on primarily getting the conversation started. That is crucial, and I can't stress it enough. Now, quantity. This is something that I poached from Charlie Morgan. If you don't know Charlie Morgan, he's an unbelievable salesman, does client acquisition on a whole nother level, and he reiterates about quantity. So what is quantity? It's quality and quantity in one. With your cold outreach, you can't just focus on quality, because if you do, you only do 10, 15 outreaches, and that's simply not enough volume. However, if you're just spamming the same message and hitting lots of volume, you're never going to get any replies. Nobody's going to open your messages. So focusing on quality is super, super crucial. Now, this means attacking your cold outreach with a balanced approach. Quality, so researching and personalizing your outreach message, as well as quantity, maintaining a high outreach volume for scalability. When you're doing your outreach, count in hundreds. It's all well and good saying, I did 100 messages today. That should count as one outreach. If you're doing 10 outreaches, that should be 1,000 cold messages, right? Make sure you count your outreach in hundreds, not in individual units. Because if you're counting in individual units, I can tell you now, you're not doing enough. It's as simple as that. So crafting effective cold outreach messages. Now, this here is called the 4-step conversational workflow, messenger flow, and it is literally a Bible for appointment setting, booking meetings, booking sales calls. It is golden. We're going to break it down right now. It's phenomenal. So this is a 250 meeting per month strategy that Dylan has used within his agency. I have used within my agency. Charlie Morgan has used within his agency. It is golden. So booking meetings is not hard when you know your target market, their pain, and their desires. If you don't know anything about your ideal client, for us, OnlyFans models, then you're not going to be able to leverage this messenger flow to convert them or have your team of cold outbound prospects into a meeting. So the order in which it makes sense, you'll need to know the inefficiencies that your market is dealing with. And don't worry, we're going to break down some of them. I've cast myself way back to when I used to run my agency, when I did a bit of outreach within Melossum, Dylan's agency, and I've put together some examples for you guys later on. So I'm not just telling you what to do without any examples. I will be breaking that down for you. How to create context and familiarity, number 2. Number 3, how to bring out the inefficiency within the conversation. It's all well and good knowing the problems that these models face, but if you can't bring it out in a conversation, what's the point in knowing them? How to educate and create curiosity whilst creating and building trust and authority. And then how we offer that value call. How do we go about saying, yo, Sarah, Melissa, Jane, whoever your model is, let's jump on a call, chop it up. and see about working together. How do we do that without being salesy? Well, luckily, we're going to jump straight into it. So what are inefficiencies? Inefficiencies can be outdated systems and processes that your market is leveraging to attain its main goal. These inefficiencies are keeping them from attaining their first goal, right? And getting there fast. Inefficiencies can be broken knowledge gaps that your market has, and it can also be anything that is now standing in the way of your prospect getting from their desired goal state. So your prospect is here in their current state facing problems, and absolutely everybody has problems they're facing. Prospects, millionaires, broke people, agency owners, everybody in this call, myself, everybody is in a current situation and everybody has problems. Just you might not realize it. And it's our goal as the salespeople, and most of us who are doing client acquisition are acting as the sales team to sign your first, second, third model within the agency. It's our goal as the salespeople to get the prospect to go from their current state to their dream state, where they want to be with all their problems solved. And it's our job to bridge that gap with the service we're selling, providing, i.e. management, to take them from here, problematic, current state, to idyllic, dream state. It's as simple as that. That's all sales is, taking a person from down here, where their problem is, up here to where they're living their best life and their problem solved. It's as simple as that. So before you start any form of outbound or inbound appointment setting for models, new clients, whatever it may be, you have to have a list of inefficiencies to look for within the conversation. Now, messenger conversation flow. What is standing in the way of the prospect and their desired goal or state? So the niche, you need to do the outreach themselves, right? If it's an e-com, maybe it is CPMs, whatever the product, the UGC, the speed, right? And then the body weight is the inability to master their environment or consistency with the right nutrition or the diet. And of course, with OFM and OnlyFans, we will get to our inefficiencies in a second. So creating context and familiarity, the main objection for outbound appointment setting. So the number one goal for outbound is to get a response. Yet again, I'm reiterating this because it's so crucial. If you can't get a response, then there's no point having a good funnel, good sales systems, a nice paid for booking link system that's all automated. There's no point in having any of that if you cannot get a response. If you don't get the prospects are responding to your first message, how the hell can you expect them to convert on a sales call? So how do you make sure to have the highest response rate in your outreach? You simply have to make sure that the prospect that you're speaking to, the model, is in the right state of mind, the right level of the brain to accept the information that you're trying to communicate to them. And I'm going to break down the 3 different levels we have. So first of all, we have the reptilian brain, one level of the brain. This is instinctual, and its sole purpose is to keep you away from danger. Fight or flight mode is your reptilian brain. Your limbic brain, which is emotional and feeling driven. This is the main driver of your behaviors. And of course, your neocortex. This is your rational thinking and your logical side of the brain. Now, when we're speaking to our prospects, we need them to be in their neocortex level of the brain to converse with you and understand. Because if they're stuck in their reptilian brain mindset or their limbic brain mindset, you simply won't get a reply. Because let's break it down with examples. So if they're in their reptilian brain and they get a cold outreach message, they're going to think, who the hell is this trying to sell me? I'm not interested. Done. Fight or flight, gone. I'm not replying. Emotional, feeling, limbic side of the brain, they would be there saying, well, this is going to take too much of my time. I'm too busy. I've got lots of content to create. I'm not going to reply to this random person who sent me a message because I've got too much going on. I need to walk the dog. I need to film my content. I need to make myself lunch. I need to feed the kids, whatever it is, right? So the rational thinking neocortex is where we need them to be. And of course, we're going to break down in how we can get them into their neocortex. So the process to create context and familiarity. When creating context and familiarity, this is going to get your prospects, your models into the neocortex, right? They're going to understand where you're coming from because they're familiar with you through your first message. So the first message should mention something familiar to the prospect. This can be taken from their profile or the understanding you have about their niche or their journey. So it doesn't necessarily have to be specific to them personally, but to OnlyFans because that's the niche and the journey they've been through. So for example, right, if you are outreaching to me, messages that would get me into my neocortex would be, hey Sam, were you running another business before Atrax acquisition, my sales agency that I run at the moment? Now, this will get me into my neocortex because, first of all, it's personalized. Hey, Sam. They've done their research. They know that I run a business called Atrax Acquisition, and they're causing curiosity by saying, have I done something before this? So you want to engage with their content, leave a comment if they're not responding to you, right? And also maximize your profile optimization because this is going to create your social context, part of your context and familiarity. Make sure you have a nice profile picture and make sure that you have some video content for the prospect to consume. And of course, this goes back to our warm outreach. If you're not creating content around OnlyFans management, you will miss out on this opportunity. You will be overtaken by the person who is creating content. It's harsh, you might call it rude, it's as simple as that. If you're not creating content, but which is going to bring in leads and also optimize your profile, you will be left behind. It's a harsh reality that I've had to swallow. It's the harsh reality that Dylan had to swallow. It's the harsh reality that every entrepreneur, no matter the business model they're in, has had to swallow. If you want to stand out from the rest and be seen as an authority, you need to make content. As well, having engagements on your profile too is great. It creates social proof. It makes a prospect feel like they can trust you. And since other people have already trusted you as well, right? So step number 2, bringing out the inefficiencies within the conversation. This is both for inbound and outbound. Now, if you haven't listened to a word I've said yet for the last half an hour, listen up, right? This is some of the most important stuff we're going to be going over today. So, number 1, content creation overload. For our OnlyFans models, the first inefficiency could potentially be that they are facing overload from content creation. This can both be sexualized content for OnlyFans as well as social media for their traffic. So, the detailed pain point of content creation overload. Models are expected to constantly produce new content to keep their audience engaged, including daily posts, custom requests, and also live interactions. This often involves planning, filming, editing, writing captions, writing scripts, and it can be very, very overwhelming without a team. Creativity can also go into stagnation periods when under pressure, leading to uninspired or repetitive content that does not resonate with their subscribers. Consequently, this can lead to burnout, leading in gaps in posting schedules, causing the subscriber to be dissatisfied. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. Leading to the subscribers being dissatisfied, meaning they might unsubscribe, they might do a chargeback, etc., right? You're going to lose out on money if your subscribers are unsatisfied. As well as a lack of content variation can reduce the model's perceived value, making it harder to retain her current subscribers or to grow her audience. The agency solution, right? You found the inefficiency there, struggling with their content creation. As an agency, what can we do to solve this problem? So, number 1, creative direction, providing tailored content strategies, including themes, trends, and monthly plans to the model. Production assistant, so offer video, photo editing services, or setting up partnerships with videographers and photographers to go to the model's house, maybe a hotel, a mutual location and film the content for the model. And then, of course, repurposing, the most overpowered technique that everybody should be doing. For everybody in here, your personal brand, you need to be repurposing the content that you film. If it's Instagram, repurpose it for TikTok and YouTube Shorts. It's exactly the same with a model. The model films 30 reels for the month, post one a day. Brilliant. Post them on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts as well. So what is repurposing? Optimizing existing content, be recycling, re-editing it to different platforms, i.e. turning an Instagram reel into an exclusive teaser for the OF on the main page, or putting it on TikTok or YouTube, right? So that is inefficiency number one. To find in the conversation, is my model that I'm talking to right now dealing with content creation overload, whether it's for OF or for her social media? Number two, time management, and this is going to be a hard one for me to say, administrative tasks. Brilliant, said it correctly. So the pain point itself, managing messages, tracking earnings, handling subscriptions, and then fulfillment as well. Custom requests require significant attention daily. So this could be a large proportion of her time being taken up purely on custom requests, but if she isn't dedicating time to creating Instagram, YouTube, etc. content, then she's going to bring in no new subscribers, should I say, sorry, right? So messaging as well, DMs are often a critical income source of an OnlyFans model, right? The chatting side of it. But responding to every single message promptly and maintaining that personal touch with the subscriber can be time consuming, is very time consuming, right? And the consequence of this is the model will frequently sacrifice creative times to handle these tasks, limiting their ability to grow, to innovate, and scale. Missed messages as well and delayed responses can also lead to frustrated fans and loss in revenue. Obviously, if they're missing messages because they're creating content, then the subscribers are going to stop subscribing, loss of revenue, etc., right? So the agency solution for you, how can you as an agency owner solve that inefficiency? So automations, using tools to automate tasks like messaging or subscription renewal reminders, as well, of course, as chatters, which we'll get into in supporting staff. So employment assistant roles to manage the chats in a chatter role, ensuring fans feel valued without overwhelming the model. And then, of course, performing analytics, so regular review of the data or on the engagement and the earnings to optimize the time spent on the high ROI tasks. So this means, in simple terms, collecting all the data from your model, seeing whether her spending 15 hours a month or 15 hours a week on custom content is genuinely bringing in more revenue, or should she actually be spending those 15 hours a week creating even more social media content so that there'll be an even bigger influx of new traffic? Is the new traffic at $9.99 a month going to be worth more than the money she's making from her customs? That's the kind of performance analysis that needs to be done to realize which is the highest ROI task. Inefficiency number three, marketing and growth strategies. So similar to the first one, but more directly correlated to social media. So growing an audience requires much more than just good content. It demands expertise in social media algorithms, collaborations with other models, and of course, branding. Many models lack the marketing knowledge to scale effectively. So expanding onto new platforms, i.e. maybe it's Reddit, TikTok, Instagram, can be very intimidating due to the platform-specific nuisances. Maybe this is the getting banned for certain types of content creation, or maybe it's not knowing the right hashtags to use on this certain platform. Maybe it's not knowing that you can only post once a day on a cold Reddit account before you get banned for spam, right? It could be any of these kinds of things. So the consequences of this is going to be a failure to grow their presence outside of OF, meaning on Instagram, on whatever social media platform it may be, which is obviously going to limit exposure to new subscribers. As well, poor marketing often leads to inconsistency revenue streams. So as growth stagnates over time, so is your revenue. If you're going to go through high periods of posting 35 pieces of content one week and then the next week not posting any, one week you may have 100 new subs, the next week you're going to have 0, right? So again, like doing warm outbound as the agency, for the model, consistency is going to be key. So as an agency, your solutions to fix this inefficiency for the model are going to be things like social media expertise, developing personalized growth strategies that leverage each platform's strength, SEO and discoverability, optimizing her profile and the content with targeted hashtags, keywords, captions, which is going to increase her visibility. And then, of course, strategic collaborations, right? Creating partnerships with other creators or influencers to tap into their audience is going to be a great way to branch out and build her brand, find new subscribers, etc. And then, of course, trend spotting, right? Staying ahead of industry trends, to ensure that their content remains fresh and engaging. Inefficiency number 4, subscriber retention. So what is subscriber retention? Maintaining a loyal subscriber base is challenging without an effective strategy, right? Models often fall into provide enough incentives for your subscriber to stay around before their first month expires. Inconsistent posting or a lack of personalization is going to make your fans feel undervalued. And the consequence of this, is a high churn rate, which is going to predictably lower your subscriber count. It's also going to lower your revenue. And then also the model is going to end up in a cycle of trying to work even harder and harder and harder to bring back, replace those lost subscribers, instead of actually looking after and nurturing her loyal fans. And of course, as well, this is going to end up in the model burning out, causing lots of fatigue. So as your agency, what you want to do is offer exclusive benefits. So offer retention incentives to these loyal fans, gifts, exclusive behind the scenes content, etc., right? Community building is going to help you create a sense of belonging through for your fans with polls, interactive OnlyFans lives, Q&A sessions, or private chats, phone calls, etc., And then personalization, you want to suggest creating a custom content tier based on the subscriber's preference, ensuring that each fan feels special. And then number 5 for your inefficiencies to draw out in your conversation could be monetization maximization, right? So many models underprice their offerings, overlooking upselling opportunities, or fail to experiment with additional revenue streams such as tips, premium bundles, or maybe they don't even sell any PPVs, right? They're just putting all their explicit content straight onto their feed, and it's just a horror show. They're not making any money. And the consequences of this are the model may earn far less than their potentials, despite putting in significant efforts into creating their content and posting consistency. Leaving money on the table also reduces financial stability and future growth opportunities. So as an agency, what can you offer these models to fix these inefficiencies? So revenue optimization. Introduce diversified income streams such as live shows, merchandise, PPVs, bundles, etc., right? Upselling strategies. Develop campaigns to upsell premium content like personalized videos, customs, or a VIP access to maybe a girlfriend experience. And then dynamic pricing, so testing pricing of the models, limited time discounts, tiered subscriptions, etc., to find out the best way to maximize her earnings without devaluing the content. So step number 3 in our 4-step conversational workflow is going to be to educate your prospect. Create authority and curiosity. Yet again, this is both inbound and outbound, warm and cold. So before you try to educate or to even try and pitch a call, you need to find a minimum of 2 painful inefficiencies. If you don't find these inefficiencies within your conversation, the prospect, model, whoever, won't see the need or the value in jumping onto a call with you. The value of a call needs to compensate for the friction and the energy that they need to put into booking a call, which for a female OnlyFans model who is very busy, there may be a lot of friction and effort and huff about going through a booking link phase, going through a funnel. It could take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and that could be seen as a lot of effort. So the value of this call needs to outweigh the amount of effort that the model is going to have to put into book the call, right? So framework for you to follow with your educational messages. So how do you solve it and why is it currently worth solving in that way? So example, we help models like yourself solve the issue of said inefficiency, which puts you at high risk. So by diversifying your content, chatting, etc., and implementing our reliable systems, you can reduce the risk and scale sustainably. This approach ensures that your account will scale systematically and steadily, giving you a more stable and controlled growth. Of course, these inefficiencies here, and obviously by diversifying your content, chatting, whatever, these want to be not same inefficiencies in every conversation you have. They need to be specific to the model. So if one model is having a problem with her content creation, talk about how you help models solving the issue of content creation. Don't just say about chatting because her chatting may be perfect, right? So they need to be tailored and specific to the model. Who have you helped solve it and what outcome did they receive? So an example would be recently we've helped a model who was stuck at 5K a month who only posted on TikTok. Within 3 months, she had 4 platforms bringing her traffic compared to just the one, reducing their risk of getting banned and then growing them 25K a month. Their business is now much more sustainable and they're not worried about sorry, that shouldn't say a single model leaving, sorry. They're not worried about their account being banned or not scaling and making the money. And then number 3, question the prospect if they've ever heard of the process or thought of using it themselves. So have you ever considered how over-reliance on one social media platform, if you're talking from Instagram, is going to hurt your business? What happens if your main account gets banned? Do you have a strategy in place to handle this? Most likely they will not, right? So by focusing on specific inefficiencies the prospect is likely facing, you can build your authority, educate them, and spark curiosity, all while making out the value of the call is going to be clear and worthwhile. And then step number 4, of course, offering that value call, yet again for warm, cold, inbound, outbound. Depending on the prospect's reply, you should establish if to the point where you shared and made them curious enough that it makes sense for them to jump on a call with you to learn a little bit more. If they're not too interested, simply jump and find another inefficiency. Educate them again. Try and find out the thing that makes them really curious. Most of the time, it will come from facing and tackling their biggest obstacle. Once they seem interested and engaged, simply make the following offer. Are you free sometime this week for a 15-minute chat? I can walk you through how we go about implementing the process, whether that is about inefficiency 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I think it can help you solve the inefficiency 1, 2, 3, or 5. Let me know if you are, and I can share you my booking link. Don't send the booking link until they say yes. So once they've said yes, awesome, here's my link, drop them booking link. And then you always want to say, let me know if you cannot find a time. right? Because this means they're just going to book in, all good. The only conversation that should continue from here is if they can't find a time. And then, of course, you want to work around it. Maybe you're going to have to throw it some more time on your schedule to get them booked in for a call. If that's the case, then unfortunately, that's what you're going to have to do to get on a call with this model. And then your follow-up messages. Follow up 30 minutes after sending the link if they haven't booked in. And then again, another 24 hours later. And these follow-ups can look like this. Were you able to find a time that works for you? If you can't find a time that works for you, let me know. I'll be happy to help you out. And of course, you can also use the Mr. Bean GIF, which is the one of him just looking at his watch. Make it lighthearted. I've spoke lots of times about using GIFs. GIFs are disgustingly overpowered. It's like playing Search and Destroy Call of Duty with God mode, Invincible. GIFs are a must in your outreach. So dangle the carrot, right? This is the 4-step conversational workflow condensed and created by myself. So if we've just gone over that 4-step conversational workflow and you've gone, wow, shit, that was an awful lot of information. A lot of it's gone over my head. This is going to be a simplified version of it that is a little bit more digestible and less wordy. So the framing, you engage in the conversation, creating context and familiarity. This can be done through a group chat reply, a story reply, a cold DM, or a voice note. Remember, the most important thing here is getting that reply. So what you can do in step number 2 is maybe you want something, maybe you want some advice, maybe you want to know what percent of a model she is, what kind of numbers she's doing, etc., etc. Asking a question, wanting something. On the flip side, you can share them some source, share them some tips, give them advice on maybe they've made a comment in the Facebook group, maybe they've said that openly on their Instagram they're struggling with something. Give them some advice on that thing that is going to support or question a inefficiency within their niche, such as how are you managing all of your customs, right? Do you have a spreadsheet, a system that tracks them, the date they've come in, who the custom request is for, how much they've paid for it, what kind of time frame it needs to be completed in? Do you have such system? Oh, no, I don't. I just do them and send it when it's done. Finding the inefficiency. So find out numbers, whether it's the current number of clients, which of course is subscribers, their revenue, and duration in the game, right? How long have they been in OF? And this is where you really want to exaggerate and extrapolate the pain points. Is it traffic? Is it chatting? Is it account optimization, right? What is their pain points? Create pain, amplify it, and extrapolate it. Now, step number 3, education, authority, and curiosity. Have a consistent story of your agency, right? We worked at this agency for X amount of time, and we have done X amount of results for X amount of people. Whether it's true or not within your outreach, make sure it's consistent. If you want to say you've been managing OnlyFans models for the last 5 years and you've taken 100 creators from 1K a month to 15K a month, even if that's not your true and that is your story, it needs to be consistent because models will talk to each other. So if you're going to make up and pay a UGC creator for a fake testimonial, etc., just make sure you stay consistent. Provide value, training, sales source, tips and tricks, right? And then here, if they're not really feeling the conversation, if they're not looking towards moving forward to a call, go back to step number 2, which is your pain points, right? So second most important thing about outreach is pain, amplification and extrapolation of pain. How can you pull out the pain of somebody without being rude, harsh? You need to find an understanding of, remember, where they're currently at and what problems they're facing. This is the pain they have, the problems they're facing. So you've got to reply. Second most important thing is all about the pain. Pain, pain, pain. So once you've educated them on the first pain point, if they're still not really feeling the conversation, not looking to move forward, okay, no stress. Go back to step number 2, find more pain. However, if you've amplified enough pain, then step number 5 is offering the value call. Now, of course, you never want to be straight up and give this cool booking link out like it's free, right? The more you send out the booking link, the less value the booking link has. So making the opportunity seem scarce is a really, really good way of creating confidence within the agency. Even if you're not busy, seem busy. This means on your booking link, don't have the whole day open, even if you're free all day. Have 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 4 p.m. till 5 p.m., 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Right? Even if you're free the whole day, make it seem like you're busy. Because if you're an agency owner and you're not busy, it's going to be very hard to sell. Using wording like I could potentially pull some strings and speak to a business partner, a CEO of the company, because I'm see there that should be setters. That should be models. I can potentially pull a couple strings since I was speaking to the CEO, my business partner, and we're actually looking to take on a couple more models, right? So when prospecting, you always want to come across as if the model is lucky, right? Offering them the call is luck. They've had a great day, this great opportunity of being offered this call. Never ever give it to them on a plate. Never say, yeah, perfect, I can book you in here, because there's no value around that. It's, well, actually, Sarah, I'm very, very busy over the next couple of days because, of course, we're managing 7 creators, all doing 15K a month. However, on Tuesday at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m., or Wednesday at 10 a.m., I've got a couple hours open on my calendar. Do any of these time work for you? Oh, yeah, I can do Wednesday at 10 a.m. Perfect. Book them in, sorted. Another thing is within OnlyFans, right? There's an awful lot of models making an awful little amount of money. So saying things like, well, this industry is full of time wasters, people who don't want to work hard and really make the best of this opportunity we have living in the digital gold rush. You seem like you could be a great potential fit. You're a very down to earth girl, and it seems like you provide a lot of value with your content. You do good money on OnlyFans. Now, I want to do you a favor since you seem like a lovely girl. Let's see if we can jump on a call. Give them a couple compliments, have the framing. I'm only offering you this call because you are a potential great fit, hard worker, etc., etc., right? People love hearing good things about themselves. So drop a little compliment. In no way should it be sexualized or flirtatious because we're here to do business. But drop them a compliment, say, you seem like you work really hard, you're a very down to earth person, and because of this, we can schedule a call. And then also using scarcity. So saying things like, I can't promise that this is going to come to fruition. However, I will try my best as you seem hardworking, down to earth, whatever it is you want to say, right? Now, I spoke to my business partner, marketing team, etc., etc., and they said that I should send you this booking link because you seem like you're very hardworking, very trusting, etc., etc. Am I okay to do so? Of course, then you can send a booking link, but as it says here, you must ask permission to send the booking link, right? If you're sending out a booking link without asking them, without them asking for it, it holds no value. And psychologically, sorry, people love being right. So if you're giving someone the framing and the power to say, yes, I want it, and then giving them what they want, you're going to be quids in, you're going to win. So saying, can I send you the booking link? Yes, of course you can. Perfect. Here you go. They're going to be very thankful for that booking link and grateful, appreciative compared to just sending it out. A must do, right? Now, this is generically in sales. However, as well in OFM, OnlyFans, this is still a must do, right? So this is handling the objection of I need to speak to my partner, whether it's spouse or business partner, before you're even on the call. So do you have a partner who is a decision maker? This could be a content partner for OF, this could be a spouse, or it could be a business partner who is another woman who's helping run the OF, right? Do you have a business partner who is a key decision maker? If so, please could you make sure that they are able to attend the call and select a time that you can both be present. Since it won't make sense to talk about all aspects of your OF if the whole of your OF team isn't there, right? So This is so you can handle the objection of I need to talk to my partner, my spouse, whoever, before they even give you the objection. That is crucial. It's a unreal sales tip, and you need to use it in every single conversation when you're sending out that booking link. Of course, when they said, yeah, my partner will be there, my spouse will be there. Nope, I do it all on my own, I'm single, whatever it is. Bang, yes, I would like the booking link. You can then send it out. And then moving on to follow-up, right? If you've never heard the phrase, the fortune is in the follow-up, you have never met a good salesperson. Follow-up is the most crucial part of a conversation after you've gone through your 4 steps of the flow. So engaged follow-up chain, right? Introduction to follow-up. A lot of prospects need to be nurtured to be converted. To nurture them to the next stage, we need a vigorous 7-step follow-up chain that breaks patterns, right? And here's what it looks like. Follow-up 1, simple text. Follow-up 2, simple text. Follow-up 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 are a meme with text. Now, you might think that 7 follow-ups is extreme, and it is, but that is why we get extreme results, because we do extreme shit. It's plain and simple, right? So follow-up 1 and 2 should be within the first 12 to 24 hours. And then follow-ups 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 should be sent every 48 hours. So every 2 days, send that follow-up with a meme and text. Now, follow-up 1 and follow-up 2, these are simple texts. Imagine that you're just bumping the message, right? However, you never want to just say bumping, right? These don't require too much thought, but simply 3 to 6 words trying to re-engage the conversation when you've done a Trojan horse missing message to watch the video, or you simply wait for them to tell you to go away. So some examples of that is thoughts on the video first name. If you're doing a Trojan horse permission message where, of course, we've been over that before, but it's a, hey, Sarah, just sending you this video quickly to ask you, is your OnlyFans struggling since I can see you only have 15 likes on your page? Something like that, right? Send a video, whatever. And then the follow-up to that will be thoughts on the video first name, Sarah. Of course, if you haven't sent a video, if you sent them a outreach message, you provided them value in the DM, simply thoughts on that message, thoughts on that asset, thoughts on that, Sarah. Number 2, after again the 12 to 24 hours, was it that bad with a winky face, right? This makes it a lot more light-hearted, jokey. Of course, we're not sending them 15 kisses or X's if we didn't know what kisses are in messages. It's very big in English culture, lots of X's, kisses. No hearts, nothing too weird, just a little maybe smirky emoji, a winky face. Was it really that bad? It creates light-heartedness and it means it's not too deep, right? So here, normally, we would give this out as an asset, so then you'd create your own. But I would strongly advise you guys to take 15 seconds to see follow-up 1 here, thoughts on that. Follow-up 2, was it that bad? Write your own 2. Write them down on a bit of paper, write them in your brain, just come up with a couple real quick. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. Perfect. So then, follow-up 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. These are slightly more cultured. They require not only text, but memes as well. Memes are a great way to break the pattern and introduce a sense of humor. Key points. I do not want you guys selling out chill guy memes, right? Crypto meme coin memes, none of that. They have to be relevant to your niche. So, of course, number 1, they should be relevant to your niche. Number 2, they should be funny, but your goal here is to get a reply, not just to make them laugh. And of course, most importantly, it should be appropriate, right? Of course, we're in the taboo industry of OnlyFans. It can become a very fine line between what is appropriate, what isn't. So stay far away from that fine line. Make sure they're appropriate. Make sure you can send it with confidence and that you know that it's respectful, respectable, and appropriate. Now, of course, to create your memes, go here. You should probably need to create 5. upload them to your camera roll or your Google Drive, whatever you're going to use for your outreach. If you've missed our last couple calls about meme generator, this is the last time I'm ever going to drop this kind of source because this is ridiculous. But meme generator it's so overpowered. Make sure you're making OnlyFans styled memes. Like I said, they have to be relevant. But yeah, memes are just stupidly Vanos overpowered when it comes to outreach. We won't look at any examples because I can tell you now they're not OnlyFans related. But yes, we do actually use these and they have generated 500 to 1,000 appointments, right? They are crazy powerful. So each meme you create should be accompanied with some short text, right? And unfortunately, I don't have any specific examples, but you can say things like, watch out, gotta warn you, the memes are coming. Simple things as looking sideways eye emojis going, yeah, again, the memes are coming, I'm not holding back. I'm just gonna drop this here. I'm getting older here. Where are we at? First name, 1, 2, 3, or 4, right? With obviously your memes. And then, of course, I want you guys another 10 seconds. Here's our 4 examples. I want you to come up with a couple now, so I'm going to give you another 10 seconds. Don't write them down if you can't. Just think about what you might say to add to your memes. Brilliant. That was probably about 7 seconds, but we'll go with it. And then brief touch points before we wrap this up, and I'm going to open the floor for some questions. We're going to touch on referrals and ads. Like I said at the very start of this, of course, if you have no cold outbound system or warm outbound system or an inbound system with content, then you shouldn't even be thinking about referrals and ads. Make sure these two are dialed first. However, if you have these two dialed, then I'm going to touch on ads and referrals very quickly. So why referrals work very well? Because you can build trust on existing relationships that you already have, right? So tips, you want to obviously reward your client for the referral. This is most often done through a percentage of model's earnings, who gets referred. And also it's going to create an easy referral process for the future, right? Ads, their main role in client acquisition is they're very scalable and very data driven, as well as the targeting on them can be very specific. And then for best practice, you're going to be doing your A/B split testing campaigns and then optimize for clarity and have strong call to actions.